Okay, we have tutor Cheryl Kraft with us, who is going to share a resource that she's been finding useful, which is the Voice of America website. Go ahead, Cheryl.
Okay, so here we are at the home page. It's learningenglish.voanews.com. And as you can see, you have many different levels that you can work with a student. They also have video, just plain video, and they also have audio. This audio is really nice. It's just like a news broadcast that goes for like a half hour. It's done at a very slow pace, simple English. So if you have a student who is really trying to improve their listening and comprehension skills, this is a good resource for them to do at home or on the run. Okay, and then on the main page, we have a lot of information, but I'll start with this one. So they have a lot of news items. They're written at different levels. So if you have a beginner, you can just go to the beginning level. This one, I think, is an intermediate, but I'll just click on that one. And here we have a nice picture. And then we have text, and you also have the audio. So you can either click on the picture to get the audio, or you can come here to get the audio. What I really like about this website, one of the things I really like about it is these pop-out players. So you can do this where you have your student listen to the audio and also look at the text, which is all laid out here. Or you can, this is what I usually do. I do the pop-out player, which is only the audio. And then you can send them the link. This is after we've gone through the article. I send them the link and then do like a gap fill exercise or something like that to help them with, again, with their listening.
And is that the audio is exactly the same as what's written?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're teaching remotely, or if you're doing this as a homework assignment, you have to like tell them, don't look at your text.
Right.
But I really like that pop-out player feature. And so these are written simply again. But the other way I use these articles is like if we're working on verb tenses, I'll say find all the verbs in the past tense, or find all the irregular verbs, things like that, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then they usually have nice either pictures or videos. So again, this can be something that you can use to spark conversation. And, you know, just more pictures. They are fairly long, at least at the intermediate level. So, you know, if you're doing this during your session, it might take the whole session.
But you
But
could send the link in advance and they could read in advance.
yeah.
Yeah. Or
And
listen.
then the other nice thing is it does have, like, if you don't know what these are, you can click on it and it'll take you to another article about it, or the Hubble Space Telescope.
Does the content change daily or weekly?
Yeah, yeah, it's daily.
Okay.
For certain things. Other things, it's like every week. Or And then the other nice feature is they have these quizzes, these interactive quizzes at the bottom. They're short, they're like 4 questions. I usually do that during the lesson with the student to see if they understood. And then they also have this nice little vocabulary. So you can give them these vocabulary words to do, you know, write something with. Excuse me. So that's kind of the way they do all the news articles, and also some of the other information that they have.
Could you show a beginning level? If you click on beginning level, what do you get?
Actually, they don't have the news articles at that level.
Okay, but it looks like a curriculum.
Yes, so I was going to go over that
Okay, great.
later. But because I don't use that I just tried to start using that.
Mhm.
But I'll talk about that
Okay, great.
after a bit. So the other things I like here are you have the day in photos. That changes every day. So you can, if you have a trouble getting conversation started, you have lots of pictures. They're usually news. And they have about, I think usually about 10 pictures, about recent events. I have a student right now that I'm working with who is, doesn't like to be confronted with a lot of sad stuff. So we usually talk about pictures like this.
Right? Festivals.
Yeah. And it's like, what's that? And what are they doing? Where do you think they are? That kind of stuff. So I do like that. They also have news words. I haven't tried that one yet, but they also have Ask a Teacher, which I really like this because I was working with my student on the difference between on and onto, and they had an Ask a Teacher segment. And these are pretty short. This one is about restore and recover. But again, you have the pop-out player if you want to give it to the student. They have the audio, you can read along. So somebody, I guess, writes into them with a question and then they explain it. And then they have little, usually they have, this one doesn't have it, just has words in the story, but usually they have a little exercise to let you try it.
And it looks like up at when you go to the top, there's where it says direct link. That's probably how you could, if you could email.
Yeah, or if you want to
Oh,
download
an MP,
it.
I see.
Yeah,
You could
into,
send that in advance if it was going to be something they
yeah,
should listen to before.
right. And as you can see, they're only like 4 minutes long. They're really short. I'm just going to play a little bit of it so that you can get a sense of how they speak in these things. I hope you can hear.
This week on Ask a Teacher, we answer a question from a reader in China.
Are you hearing the?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dear teacher, I read an article on your website. Visitors slowly return to a famous Thai coastal area. I am a little confused about the words restore and recover in the story. Is there any difference between them? Thank you.
So you see how slowly and clearly they're speaking. So I really like this feature. This is another one, how to pronounce this, really good. This one happens to be about how to talk about place names. They have other ones. They have like English, I think grammar in a minute or something like that. Let me see if I can find English in a minute. Here it is. This one, these are pretty good too. They're audio, they're just video.
Welcome to English in a Minute. Horses are beautiful animals and can be many different colors. But what could this mean?
Dark Horse. Did you watch the film award show?
I cannot believe A Slug's New Body won for Best Children's Science Movie in a Foreign Language.
I didn't know that was a category.
Oh, it was definitely a dark horse. I thought Cat Camp would win. Didn't you?
Oh yeah, of course.
A dark horse is someone or something that's not expected to win, but sometimes they do. We use dark horse when talking about sports, politics, or as we heard, movie awards. And that's English in a Minute.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, and they have They have a bunch of them. You can go back into their archive
Mhm.
and, pick ones that you would like. And they also have everyday grammar, like I got up. That's another good one. I actually haven't explored this one, learning English TV, but I think it's similar to the news audio where they talk about current events. And then this is nice if you want to teach your student about the health crisis. And then, of course, there's advanced level. I haven't explored these because my student's not advanced.
Uh-huh.
But I have done some of these. Now, we've used these American stories a lot. And they have a whole slew of different American short stories. It's set up very similarly to the news. So you have the pop-out player, you have the text, and you have the vocabulary words, you have the quiz at the end. But the other nice feature is it has a lesson plan.
Yeah, that's great.
So we use these a lot, the short stories. I will give a caveat though, they're mostly like from the turn of the last century, like Mark Twain and Ambrose Bierce and stuff like that. So just make sure that there's not a lot of sort of archaic language
Mhm.
or sometimes there might be like something that's not PC these days.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's
Um,
good though, if someone's studying for GED or wanting to go to community college, they're gonna have to
Yeah.
be able to read, those kinds of things as well. So
Yeah, and the other nice thing is they put them into different parts if they're long stories. So like we did the Princess of Mars of Edgar Rice Burroughs, and that was 4 parts. So it was a nice, because it kind of left the student hanging and ready for the next one. So I liked it. I thought it was good. There's also the other thing we've been using a lot are the national parks. Trying to remember where they are. That's the problem with this site. There's so much
it's
stuff.
vast. Yeah, I had no idea.
So they have US history. I might have to do a search to find the national parks. But there's here we go. America's National Parks. And this was also nice because, again, set up in the same way as the others with the pop-out players and stuff. But it has like every national park in the country.
Wow.
And it gives the student a sense of, like, if they haven't traveled much in the States, it gives them a sense of different places that you can go. Like we just recently did this Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. And they always have nice pictures and you can have a good discussion usually about it. So we use those a lot. Okay, let's see, what else did I want to do? Oh, there's also, let me see if I can get back. There's something called English at the Movies, if I can find it again. And basically I think it's in the intermediate level, but anyway, it's very similar to what I showed you already, where they show a little clip from a movie and then they explain an expression in the movie. And what I like is that it's in the context of the movie. And so it gives them a better idea of what that's all about. Okay. So this Let's Learn English, and we just started trying to use this, and it is a complete, there's like multiple lessons and you can just go from one to the other. There's a whole lesson plan. There's a whole book you can download.
Wow. A book with activity, like print activities, or a teacher
Yeah.
guide, or both?
Well, the book is for the teachers and
Okay.
it gives you, like what kind of discussion to have and
Wow.
exercises to do and things like that. My student that I'm working with right now really had a hard time with this. And I think it might be because this particular lesson was set up in an office setting. And this is not something she could relate to very well. But I'll play a little bit of it. As you can see, it's like 5 minutes long, but I'll play a little bit so you can get a sense of
Okay.
what it's like.
Oh, important meeting. Everyone must come. Oh. Well, back to work. And my boss has called a meeting. I wonder what it's about. Maybe we're all getting raises. Oh, there's Jonathan. Maybe he knows.
Hi, I'm Professor Bot. This video is all about work. People talk about jobs and things that happen at work. Your assignment is to find as many work words as you can. Don't worry, I'll help.
So, Jonathan, what do you think today's meeting is about? The email sounded important.
Well, I have heard people in the building talking about budget cuts.
Oh, budget cuts? Wait, who has been talking about budget cuts?
Mark, in accounting.
Mark in accounting? That's one person. That's not people.
I know, but Mark knows everything that goes on at the studio.
So that kind of gives you an idea of what it's like.
That's fun. The production value is really good.
Yeah, I think they do a good job. I kind of wish they didn't have the text here. I
The
don't know.
option, yeah.
There might be a way to take that off, but I don't know. For some reason, my student had a lot of trouble with this. We watched it during the lesson, and then I had her watch it at home a couple times, and then in the end, she sort of got it, but she just kept saying, I don't get this. I don't understand. But you see, you can download this lesson plan. And you can see it's a certified American English teachers have designed it. Again, you have the pop-out player and we have the text. And they have the vocabulary here. And then you have another little quiz. And then they have this book with the dictionary of words used on the website. So I'm going to persist with this to see if she starts to catch on a little better. But since she was doing okay with the American short stories and everything, I thought,
Right.
it's not the level. There's something else that's going on here that's.
So this one, on the intermediate and advanced materials that we were looking at, it looked like more sort of individual articles or whatever. And this one is intended to sort of build skills and be a curriculum that you follow.
Yes, that's right. And I looked at the beginner one to see, I thought, oh, maybe we should go down to the beginning level, but it was way too basic. It was like, my name is Anna,
Right,
kind of thing. So yeah. Anyway, I think this is a pretty good website.
Yeah.
Let's see, is there anything else? No, if you want, well, I'll just play a little bit of the radio. Oops. Oh, come back. Doesn't want to go because, well, I guess I won't play a little bit of the radio. Here, I can get to it another way. I think. Oh, here's English at the movies.
Mhm.
I'll show you that one.
Welcome to English at the Movies, where you learn American English heard at the movies. Finch tells the story of an inventor named Finch. He and his dog Goodyear are some of the few survivors of a huge solar flare. A solar flare is a sudden explosion of intense radiation from the sun. Finch decides to build a robot that will care for Goodyear when Finch is gone. Listen for the words leap of faith.
I'm developing something interesting. Giant leap of faith. Now, if you can speak, tell me something about you.
Robots must protect dog.
What do you think a leap of faith is? A, taking action with a belief that it will be successful. Or B, jumping into action without thinking. Listen again.
I'm developing something interesting. Giant leap of faith. Now, if you can speak, tell me something about you.
Robots must protect dog.
The answer is A. A leap of faith is taking action with a belief that it will be successful. With a leap of faith, there is no proof that something will work, but the action is usually based on knowledge that it might. And that's English at the movies.
So you see, that's kind of the style of speaking that they use in the
Right.
radio too.
Yeah, no, it's very compelling. This would be a lot of fun to use, and
Yeah, I think it
Cheryl?
keeps her interested too. I think, you know, I find with adult students, it's hard to keep them interested. So you can switch back and forth between news items and short stories and everything else. And one of the things I was really pleased about was when we started doing the national parks, one of the vocabulary words was bucket list.
oh,
Now she says, oh yeah, I've got that on my bucket list. I want to go see that.
yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, one other thing, I haven't tried this, but there's this 20 questions to test your English. And it's, excuse me, this might be something you know about. I don't. It's the standard English test.
No, that's not. I'm not familiar with that.
So I haven't tried this, but apparently it gives you some kind of score.
Okay.
So that's something else, I guess, could be used. So any questions?
Gosh, no, I don't think so. So it looks like the in terms of teacher resources, suggestions for teaching the lesson and that kind of thing, is that only in that curriculum one, or is that for every? Do they have kind of a teacher guide?
There is a teacher guide with the short stories, but
Okay.
not with anything else
Okay, and there
other
was
than that curriculum.
with the curriculum, yeah, but that's plenty then. Okay.
Yeah, and also they do have this US history, but
Right.
we haven't used that. So
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. Well, thank you so much. I think people are going to find this really exciting.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy using it. So
All right. Well, thank you so much, Cheryl.
okay.